nothing in the policy and actually history of China, but especially policy of the last 40 years, would give any credibility to the aggressive nature of Chinese intentions. Absolutely to the contrary. And that is why an increasing chorus of countries from Latin America, from Asia, from even from Europe, from Africa, praise the kind of win-win cooperation they have as a result of the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative. And it is just not true. I mean, it's just a lie which is peddled because some of these, geopolitically thinking people want to keep to their privileges, and they think that that requires to keep China down. Now, if you want to have World War III, then that may be possible, but nobody will survive such a war. I want people to think about it. You know, the United States has 325 million people. China presently has almost 1.4 billion people, and that was a subject at the recent China import International Import Expo in Shanghai. They have presently already a relatively wealthy middle class of 300 million people, and they want to have 600 million middle class people in 10 years from now. This is an enormous market, and obviously it will not stop there, but the tendency will be to, just make China a all-around prosperous country. That has been the policy outlined by President Xi Jinping at the 19th National Congress of the CPC in October last year, that they want to have by 2050 China to be a fully developed, modern, industrialized, democratic, harmonious, culturally progressive country, which means they will have long overcome poverty, and they will probably have 1.5 or more billion people who will be in the middle class. Now, China is absolutely putting the emphasis on innovation, and as some people who have been working in China and know the situation have noted, it is just not true that China is copying Western technology, and that is what they depend on. China, in the meantime, has bypassed the West because of their focus on innovation in several fields already. One of them, most obvious, is the fast train system, which is an excellent development, which is not matched by anything in the West. And this is entirely Chinese engineers. So I could add their being the most advanced in fusion research, their very ambitious space program, their absolute focus on the excellence of their students. So the idea that you can suppress a country which has a 5,000-year-old history, which has been the leading force at least until the 15th century, and then periodically also after that, and now is on this course, and it has the largest population. Maybe it's going to be bypassed by India at some point, but it's just an extremely large population. The idea that you can suppress such a country and stop it from developing, is just ludicrous and really reflects the wrong thinking. What China has offered is a great power relation of a win-win cooperation among large nations or great nations, and that is what they want. They don't want to bypass the United States as the dominant power. They have stated very many times this is not the intention of China. They just want to have respect for the sovereignty and non-interference, acceptance of the other social system. But if you relate positive to China's offers, it is a benefit for everybody. So the idea of this absolute lying China bashing, which has taken a new degree of aggressiveness with these reports coming from various study groups and commissions. You mentioned Rubio. That just is really counterproductive, and it confuses the population who all of a sudden think, China is the big threat, and it is not. And I really want to emphasize this, that this China bashing is really a lie. It's a complete invented narrative to cover for the geopolitical intentions of those who spread it.